Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GBYWN Australia podcast. I'm here with Just Mike. We've got a little Q&A. So welcome back to the podcast, Mike.
Thanks, mate. Good to be back on the GBZ.
Oh, just give it a rest, mate.
God damn, why is it so long?
Global Backyard Wrestling Nation.
It's too much.
Fair enough, bro.
Three letters maximum.
3 letters maximum. You don't. I bet you don't like ICWS, WZWA.
Hate it.
See, when I first got involved with WZWA, I was actually thinking of saying we should just call it Warzone Wrestling, WZW.
Perfect.
But you can't because there's an actual pro fed in Melbourne called Warzone Wrestling. So
Shit about them.
man,
There's other XCWs. Do we give a shit? No.
dude, there's like 50 XCWs. All right, first question, Nick Ariel.
Oh God, here we go.
Mike, would you consider returning to the padded mat in 2016 on a 7-show contract if you win a title?
Contract? No, I would not. Sorry to disappoint you, Nick, but due to work commitments and a niggling shoulder injury, which I'm sure you can relate to.
And just say it, dude. You don't want to fucking wrestle.
I don't want to, yeah.
Fucking hell,
I'm
man.
fucking 28 years old.
Excuse me. I'm still
What kind of a loser would I be if I was still wrestling with a bunch of fucking teenagers, you know? And I've got priorities in my life which are much more important. So.
Yeah, so fuck off, Nick.
No.
Okay, Daniel Bonner, what made you change your mind and decide to touch sweaty men wearing tight clothing?
I knew he was going to say something like that.
See, that's what I meant when it came to his little memory and remembering things like that. When you said you didn't, you thought it was gay. Or
I guess
something.
when I grew up here and I decided to do what I loved, which was wrestling, and I regret not joining it earlier. So
who knows what would have become of the Just Mike character if you came in at 2002? I don't know where you would fit in.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, as a new guy coming in, usually they didn't do too well to begin with.
Yeah. Maybe it was for the best.
Maybe it was. I'm going to chuck in my own question now. I don't know if someone's put this in, but fuck it. XCW wrestler, past or present, you know, present as in the present that you were in it, past as in before you were there. Is there one guy you wish you had a match with, or would have loved to have gotten out there and done something with?
Yes, I think IQ Man.
I imagine an IQ Man Just Mike on the microphone against one another would be.
It sounds like a disastrous match, but I think it would.
I think you can make it entertaining.
Yeah.
You know,
just because he was a face at one point, wasn't he?
Ultra IQ was a babyface for a little while, but when he was IQ Man, he was mainly a heel.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked with Ultra IQ, no way.
But I reckon he would make a good babyface.
Yeah,
because he was so good on the mic.
Even as a heel, I think it would have been a good match.
Yeah,
I would have just he would have just torn me a new one on the mic, and then I don't know.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see you and Norman go out there. All right, cool. Big Red Ryan Tate has got several questions.
Big Red Ryan Tate.
Do you?
Big Red.
Yeah, Big Red Ryan Tate, man.
Damn, I don't know what I like about him, but Big Red is just sick.
I bet it's the tagline, Big Red. I bet it's that.
Yeah, of course.
It's you always found the smallest detail about someone that you loved, and then that's why you think
Chief
they're great.
Morley. I just love Chief Morley. I don't know why.
More than Val Venus, Chief Morley. I think it's because he's called Chief. Okay, if you could have ever won the XCW Heavyweight Championship, how would you have booked yourself to win it, and who would be the guy you would drop it to?
How do I book myself to win it? Fuck, that's a good question.
Some of these questions, man, they really have to try and make you think. Like, Ryan always asks the ones that you have to really think hard about.
Yeah, I think the only way that would have been plausible would have been a huge turn from someone else to help me.
Gotcha.
So kind of like a WrestleMania 17 style Stone Cold turning and...
Gotcha.
Was it?
Stone Cold turning on Rock to join Vince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
like some sort of turn.
Some kind of, as ridiculous as it sounds, diffuser turns, and that would have never happened. Vaughny to Horny, like turning and helping me, and then
Gotcha.
like make some kind of team. But like, I don't think it would have been plausible for me to win it. Just singles match 1-on-1 kind of.
Well, I guarantee you, if XCW continued, everyone would have had the chance to be champion, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because when I do my fantasy booking, what would have I done? Nick Ariel would have beaten Diffuser for the title. Because Nick Ariel never won it.
Yeah.
And I reckon Blade would have beat Nick for it.
Mm.
And then Blade maybe will drop it to you or Chris.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Share it around a little bit, but I could totally see you as XCW champion, bro.
But yeah, as far as dropping the title,
yeah.
I think it would be nice to drop it to Chris. Just because our last match, we didn't know who was going to win.
You guys did rock, paper, scissors, didn't you?
Rock, paper, scissors, and I won. So I was kind of like, okay, wow, that's kind of cool, kind of way to finish it.
I was so glad that you were winning the match, because I didn't know who was going to win it until it happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I said, don't tell me, I want to be surprised. Yeah. And when it happened, I was like, you know what, that was good.
So like, yeah, me and Chris we're not too fussed. We're kind of always at that stage where like we don't care who wins.
Yeah, and he'd beaten you twice before in your other two singles matches. Yeah. So,
and we just had two great matches, so it would have been good to like kind of put on a main event style match, and I would have been happy to drop the title to him.
I love Chris Rowe. Okay, when you first started, this is Ryan Tate again. When you first started, did you ever believe XCW would last as long as it did?
God, no. To be honest, I was planning to wrestle one event, and that was it. I thought XCW would go on for a bit longer, but
you didn't think Just Mike would last the test of time?
Oh God, no way. I was never planned for that, but it just happened, and it's for the best. But yeah, I think when we were wrestling at Blade's house during that 2004 era, I was just like, yeah, this is.
You could tell it was on a decline.
We were losing wrestlers, or just
people were losing
matches.
Yeah,
and I was just like, this is kind of shit.
Yeah.
Wrestling on a blue tarp, fucking in a fucking stony, rocky, sandy desert kind of shit backyard. And I was like, this is the end of it. And
yeah, it was kind of like going that way.
Year 12, graduating, like
we had levers and stuff coming up.
Gonna go into jobs and start having children and all that kind of boring stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you could tell that there was a decline in XCW. Because, like, we had the height of the Iron Man match, and then two shows afterward was the last show that we had for, like, a year. So, it was insane to go from such a height. That probably is what killed it. It's like, well, we can't top that. So, now it's like... Anyway, interesting. And as far as I'm concerned, I just wanted to keep going and going and going and going and going. And... so I was astounded when it came back in 2010 for 5 shows.
It's a miracle that it,
Because I don't know how we organised that and we got it off the ground, but we did.
Yeah. I mean, Fight for Farewell and Return for Redemption were like, they were good, but it still wouldn't have been the good way to go out. So it was a blessing that we had those last 5 events.
Yeah. Okay. If you could face anybody, oh shit. If you could face anybody from the old XCW who you never got to have a match with, who would it be and why? Maybe pick another one.
Okay. The old XCW.
I'm surprised that Ryan knows there's an old XCW. Like, there is 2 versions, to be honest.
I'd have to go with Scorcher.
True. That didn't happen, did it?
Yeah. Because I can't think of anyone
I
else.
think I asked you, would you ever wrestle Scorcher? You said no. Oh, no, I said, is there anyone you'd never wrestle?
Yeah.
And you said Scorcher because it would be dreadful because he's too unpredictable and you don't know what he's doing. But I reckon that would be fun.
And I never really liked Lee in high school. So...
Fair enough.
I would have never agreed to it.
Fair enough. How did it feel to be a part of the Elite Alliance for that small amount of time at Resolution 3 this year?
Oh, it was probably the worst moment in my career to be associated with those bunch of scallywags.
Oh, mate. Blade Shaw, Ryan Tate.
God.
What a team. Dan Zeppelin.
Nah, I would have actually been sick to be involved for a stint, but
I do remember...
I guess it's an honour to be
Yeah.
Had that little moment.
Just a quick moment.
It felt great.
Yeah.
It was 2 seconds.
Yeah. Because you know what? If Elite Alliance continued and that was a thing, like, that would have been pretty cool, I reckon. It would have been a good run. But, you know, it was so stale at that point it needed to end. But I do remember, actually, the year before, I was saying to you, would you like to come in and manage someone?
Yeah.
For, you know, just a couple of storylines, then you can go.
Yeah.
And then you were interested, and you're like, let me see what my schedule's going to be like coming to, like, October or whatever, and I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
But I don't think we ever spoke about it after that. But there was an idea that you were going to be a manager for someone.
Yeah.
Don't know who, don't know what we were going to do. It didn't get past
I think I just started my new job, so I just kind of never had time to...
As soon as the Wildcats thing happened, I was like, there's no chance.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to put any pressure on you to have to show up to events that you don't really have time to be at.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to commit and then not show up, because that's kind of a dick thing to do.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yep.
Found our hidings.
Yep. That old chestnut. We can talk about that in a minute.
Did this just become a shoot interview? Or?
What was it like to transition from the classic XCW mattresses and trampoline to the ICWS base? I remember Bonner was very impressed. He was like, this is great.
It was a comfortable transition to start with. It was nice to finish an event and not be freaking itchy from the grass, and not be covered in grass burns and all that kind of shit. But yeah, it was good to kind of have a different dynamic, and you can kind of do different things. You can take different moves and kind of not put your body at risk by taking a powerbomb on grass or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that I ever took a powerbomb.
No. I don't think you even take a suplex.
Never took a suplex in my career.
Yeah, I can't believe
Proud
you got through 7 years and you didn't take a suplex.
I feel like we planned... No, didn't I do it against Heartbreakers?
Did you?
Or maybe not. I think we planned to do it, but it never happened.
Really? Mike was going to take his first suplex in his last show.
It was going to be a double suplex.
Oh, really? Oh, well, that would have been safer. Why didn't you want to take a suplex? You're just scared of going over your head?
I never liked flipping out.
Dude, I didn't take my first suplex until Anarchy Assault of November 2002 against Acid Rain.
Right.
Because he was the only one that I trusted to get me over. And he did it, and it was...
Whenever it came up in a match, someone would set me up for a suplex. A quick punch, kick to the gut, reversal.
Yeah, exactly. Always. And you DDT him. Alright, Luke Monet, where did the name Just Mike come from?
Okay, so back in the old WWF days, probably around the 2000 era, back when Heat was still a thing, there was a character called Just Joe.
Better known as Joe E. Legend.
That's right, Joe E. Legend, who had a fest in TNA in the early days, I believe. Yep. He had a character called Just Joe. It probably lasted a few weeks.
It was like a couple months, I'd say.
Yeah.
But you and I loved that character. He was just the shit stirrer that would go around backstage. Sorry, I've taken your story from you.
That's right.
Go around backstage and say to someone, this is what this guy said about you.
Yeah. Just
shit stirring. And then at the end of it, you go, hey, whoa, when they got angry.
Yeah.
I'm only the messenger. Yeah. I'm only the messenger. So your first appearance, when Diffuser and you had some words backstage, you were like, hey, whoa, I'm only the messenger.
Was that part of his character to be, he just wanted to be called Joe, but people called him Just Joe?
That was the thing, yeah. Oh, my name's Joe. My name's Just Joe. Okay. Oh,
so
Just
I stole
Joe.
that as well, yeah.
And he's like, no, it's Just Joe. And we totally stole that because it was such a cool and funny idea.
So dumb, but hilarious.
But we loved it, and we were like, I hate the fact that they stopped doing it. And you know what? I was actually turned off seeing him wrestle. I didn't want to see him wrestle. I just wanted to see him shit stir backstage, and that's it. It's like, why has this guy got a contract? Anyway, that's where it came from. And it went from I love how it transitioned. At first, you got angry if people called you Mike. No, called you just Mike. No, it's just Mike. No, it's just Mike. And then Chris Rowe, backstage, called you Mike in a backstage promo. And you said, whoa, it's just Mike. That's what I said, Mike. No, it's just Mike. So it turned 180, and that's how your feud with him.
Man, you cannot write this shit. It's just fucking
That's
brilliant.
how that feud began because he called you Mike.
I
He
hope
mispronounced your name.
Vince McMahon's taking notes right now.
He
'cause
should be, man.
Fuck, this is brilliant.
Their ratings down to a 2.13 or something, the lowest it's been in about 17 years.
Bring
So-
back Just Joe and you'll
Yeah,
be fine.
then they'll be fucking fine. Nick Ariel, who's the future of WZWA? Just making it difficult for you because you probably don't know anyone.
Okay, I reckon his future would have to be Steel Kemsley.
Fuck yeah, dude.
He is sick.
Yeah. He would have fit into XCW, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. Just from my interaction at the last EPW event, he's got character. He's a young guy, but he's got character, and I think, I don't know if he's a face or a heel at the moment, but
It's a face.
man,
But the most over face in the whole
fucking
Fed.
turn him straight away because he would be a great heel.
You reckon?
Yep.
He
In
started
fact-
off as a heel, but he's way better as a babyface
In
because
fact-
everyone won't stop cheering him.
I think under the right guidance, maybe the right manager,
Oh.
we could turn him into a superstar.
Interesting. Very
Um,
interesting.
Maybe if he was to be a Canadian superstar.
Oh. He has to be Canadian, though. He's got to go get his citizenship, and then you'll manage him. Okay, that's a good answer. Because I think he could be the future of WCWA. Dan Zeppelin, who's a better photographer? Jack Wallace or Dan Zeppelin?
Jack Wallace is a photographer.
Oh, fucking owned.
Is he?
Yeah,
Has he got
apparently.
his- really, he's got his own.
It's
thing?
called Sierra Photography. He goes to parties and takes pictures at parties, and
Yeah, okay, well,
apparently that's a thing. It's apparently a thing now, like party photographers.
yeah. I've seen it.
But Dan's like the EPW.
Man, fucking Dan Zeppelin's a better photographer than me, so Zeppelin all day.
Excellent. Blade Shaw. Do you regret never having a chance to attempt a face run in XCW? Being a good guy.
That's a good question.
Blade's
Uh,
always got the best questions.
He does.
You know why? Because he wears glasses.
Yeah.
He's smart.
He's smart. I wear glasses as well, so to be honest, no. I don't think I would have ever suited a face character. Because,
No?
like, being a heel kind of, for me, was like a guise for my wrestling, because it kind of helped my character, like, I guess, because I wasn't such a good wrestler, like, I had
Yeah.
to be that heel to
Yeah.
to pull off my moves and
Yeah.
to win my matches and stuff, so, like, I'm not going to win a match pulling off a half Boston Crab.
Yeah.
So I need to be a heel to pull that off. So no.
Yeah. Well, you kind of did get to explore it with Mickey Whip at that one little house show that XCW had. And you were I thought you were pretty funny because you came out to crack that whip. And I don't know, you had like a little furry thing, like a little,
Yeah?
I don't know what it was. It was like a furry thing, and you're cracking it like a whip.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, Mickey Whip. So
It
Oliver,
would have
if
been
you're
fun
out
to
there,
like,
he ended
kind of
up doing it.
have that second character, like
Mm.
Diffuser had Junior Ref, Just Mike would have Mickey Whip.
Yep. And John had Andy Garcia, Jean Depressio, Cola Bear, Johnny V, Dragula. They all have the same face.
I remember that
They're
house.
all exactly the same.
I remember that house show we did with Mickey Whip. I think John gave me an F5. So annoying. Like, we're just doing this fun match, and he gives me a serious move. Freaking was raining, so it was all wet.
Oh
and
man,
damp.
I don't know what we were thinking that day. I think we were drinking. We had
Yeah,
been
I
drinking,
think
and we
we
were like, "Let's do a house show." Ugh. I'll be Sebastian Biggles. Dumb. Anyway, continuing on with the questions.
More brain busters.
Blade Shaw again. Which wrestlers from the current WCW roster would you like to see turn pro, and why?
Turn pro. God, they're all terrible. So, just jokes. This is a tough question. I'm gonna go with.
Tough one.
Oh, God damn it. Can I go with a tag team?
Sure.
I'll go with Jack Wallace and Luke Monet.
Oh, the franchise.
Franchise.
Oh, they split up about.
God damn it.
They split up in about March, I think. But that's okay. You can
Nah,
say that.
Back when they were a tag team, I thought
They were a good tag team.
they were pretty sick. I reckon they would have fit quite well in the tag division in Perth.
Excellent. Cool. Across XCW, ICWS, and WCWA, where do you rate yourself in terms of best heel in Western Australian yarding history?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good question. God damn it, Blade.
Cheeky little fucker.
Who are the heels in WCWA? Like, you had...
Well, you had me, you have Ryan Tate, Antilochus has been a pretty good heel. Dark Ice was a heel. Shit. FaZe is a good heel. I don't even know if you've seen him wrestle.
No.
ICWS, Mike Delcano was a great heel there.
Yeah.
Mykonos did some stuff as a heel, but you probably didn't see it. Yeah, that's a pretty hard question because you're not as educated into the newer stuff as you once were.
So, I guess to answer your question, I'm the number one heel.
I would say so too. I think Just Mike was the greatest heel in Western Australia.
I always rated myself on par with Johnny V. Like, Johnny V was...
He was a good heel.
Fantastic heel.
Yeah, that's true. It was between me, you, and him for heel of the decade, but you got like about 3 or 4 more votes than me. So.
I think I won just on my theme song. So
the longest intro in history. What made you choose the final countdown?
I don't know. I just had this kind of like phase of just like I liked the Rocky theme. I liked Eye of the Tiger, kind of these 80s.
Yeah.
That era kind of rock. I came out to Chariots of Fire once, I think. Fucking.
No, you did not come out to the Olympics theme, did you?
Something similar to it, anyway.
Oh no, I remember. Yeah, you had something similar.
Shit like that. I just had this fascination with like shitty 80s.
But you always you pick the most inspirational kind of songs, like the Rocky theme and Eye of the Tiger and the final countdown. It's so inspirational, you know, like.
So one day I just changed to that. I don't think I meant to keep it for as long as I did, but just because it just got such a reaction from the crowd.
Because people hated how long the intro was, and you would not come out until it kicked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was brilliant, man.
And I extended it by adding the Canadian national anthem to the start. And,
yeah. That's true. You did add the Canadian national anthem, which was awesome, and then it went which was
like,
great.
There's a point where I kind of wanted to change it to something more heelish, but just the whole length of the intro just made it.
Oh yeah, I want to ask you this because I just thought of it. What was the idea behind the great moments in Canadian sports history? I think it was before your match with Nick.
Yeah. I don't even know what the intro
Did you feel beating him would be on par with like a Wayne Gretzky or Canada winning the gold in the ice hockey? Or
I think I watched
Lance Storm beats Mike Awesome or whatever it was.
Nah, because I had watched that ice hockey match, and just the reaction from the commentator was just so awesome.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is just like it just reminded me of wrestling, just the commentary. So I was like, okay, Just Mike's got to do this just to help me build on my Canadian character, because it never really happened much. I never really built on my Canadian character, so it was kind of showing my
patriotism.
That's it, yeah. So.
Well, very cool. Well, I thought it was a really cool little touch that you had, that you added to your...
Plus, I just wanted to add the... No, Lance Storm, rolling Canadian, Maple Leaf.
Which you'll find at New Blood Rising, Mike Awesome versus Lance Storm. Lance Storm's your favourite wrestler, isn't he?
He sure is.
Excellent.
My favourite.
Cool, bro. Okay. Another annoying question. Who do you predict to win the Battlefield Brawl this year? You know, it's funny, the Battlefield Brawl was an XCW thing, and now it's become a real...
I debuted at Battlefield
You
Brawl.
did?
So, I predict Just Mike is going to win.
There's no chance. You're not going to be in it.
I'm not booked.
Do you want to be in it? There's no way. You've already made your exit, bro. You're hinting a managing role for Steel, and now you're saying you're going to win the brawl.
All right, still Kemsley's going to win.
Man, you love this guy just because you had a little bit of a... He's like challenging you to a match outside of EPW. That was gold, man. Like
That's straight balls, you know.
Man, you and him interacting, it was like, I wish we filmed that because that's just like so funny to see.
I'm going to come out still in Battlefield Brawl. When is it?
December 19th.
Pretty sure I'm working, so... That's
alright, bro. Alright, what was the inspiration and attraction to the Canadian gimmick from Bladeshaw?
Well, for starters, just because I love Lance Storm so much, I was, ripping him off to a T. But I just loved heel so much that, watching those matches of Lance Storm and WCW and the reaction he got from the crowd, I was like, wow, I just want to get that reaction from an XW crowd. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to be a heel, I want to,
do it like your hero.
Yeah. So I just pretty much copied Lance Storm to a T and just built it from there, I guess.
Cool, man. Johnny V. In their prime, who was better? Who was the better franchise? WWF or WCW? In their prime.
God, this is such a hard question.
Man, in high school, me and John would actually have heated arguments where we would like get actually angry at each other over it.
Yeah.
Because I was pro WCW all the way.
Yeah.
But looking back, I kind of think, well, in WWF's prime,
yeah,
nothing really beat it. Do you remember, like, we would watch Raw? You watch it from your house, I watch it from mine.
Yeah.
5 seconds after the show's over, your phone's ringing. And I'm like, dude, did you see the Big Show join the NWO? I was standing on my couch.
We were watching it together.
Were we?
We were. I was at your house.
Oh, were you there?
And we were
there was another thing, and I think maybe it was the previous week or something happened. Maybe Bischoff debuted or something.
Shawn Michaels was joining or something?
Yeah, something like that. And
but
I called you straight away.
We were watching...
Oh, we were watching the Big Show joining.
And we were like, how do we not see this? And we were just marking out.
And what did you do after that? You changed your Hotmail password to Big Show for Life. First thing you did, I've got to change my password to Big Show for Life. Why? Just because you popped so much for it.
God damn it.
So funny, man. Such a nerd.
But back in the day, like, post WCW, I thought WCW was the better franchise, but looking back now, WWF was by far the best franchise.
Especially in the Attitude Era, dude. But
man, like DX, Stone Cold and The Rock, you can never beat them. They're the two best wrestlers of our time.
And that's probably why you kind of disconnected yourself from really being interested in wrestling anymore, is because it's not like it used to be.
Exactly. I tried watching Raw the other day and I was like, this is shit.
Really? They don't do anything anymore. There's no storylines. There's no angles. There's no...
exactly. It's just, it's terrible to watch. But
I could rant on it for days, dude. But
back then, you just, The Rock would come out and be like, sick, he's going to cut it. Awesome promo, you're going to laugh.
It's going to be entertaining.
Sick, and then Snake Eyes going to come out, drink the beer.
And then the next segment, out comes Mankind, and,
Or even the start of the event, Val Venus is coming out.
Sick, who's he against? Oh, fuck yeah, Gangrel's coming out with that sick entrance.
He's versing Ken Shamrock, and they've got a feud with that Ken Shamrock's sister.
Oh man, so many things, and then Billy Gunn gets involved, and then suddenly Goldust is the one that wins Shamrock's sister's heart, and it's just like, how is all this shit happening?
I think WCW, I think, like, the 3-hour shows kind of was the downfall. Like, not looking back,
it was hard.
It's good because they had so many just average matches that you weren't interested in. So, like, okay, Horace Hogan's going to verse
Lodi.
Yeah. Like, who gives a shit?
Like,
there was just action packed.
Yeah, it was just top to bottom.
First hour to second hour.
Cool, man. Alright, Johnny V. Top 5 wrestlers, pro wrestlers.
Top 5, okay. I'll go Lance Storm number 5. Number 4. Are we doing it in order? We're ranking them?
Yeah, rank them.
Okay. Number 4, I'd go Kurt Angle.
Sick.
3, Stone Cold. 2, The Rock. And first will be Shawn Michaels.
Sick. Good list.
Shawn Michaels was always just the ultimate showman.
Yeah.
Always put on a good match.
Yeah.
Like, from the start of his career to the end of his career.
Yeah.
Freaking WrestleMania. When did he verse, like, Angle? 21?
Oh, yeah, I think it was 21. I was insane. We were all there at your house watching it, and we were going insane. Because I think Vaughn didn't want Shawn Michaels to win. We wanted Shawn Michaels to win. I think Ben wanted Kurt Angle to win. Like, there was all the fucking shit going on there.
And, like, just he'd verse Jericho, he'd verse Undertaker, and just every time. Just
Every
blown away.
WrestleMania was insane, man.
Mr. WrestleMania.
He is Mr. WrestleMania. Johnny V, I found this funny. Tell me about the Just Mike meal plan. And I commented saying, "Ha ha, Just Mike's workout theory on his website."
Well, it's a very complex workout theory that I came up with. It's based on a good balance between nutrition and exercise.
And copying and pasting from Lance Storm's
All right.
website.
I stole it from Lance Storm and crossed out his name with one name in place. All right.
You actually did the cross out. Man, I can't believe that website's still online. Have you seen it?
Yeah, you showed me.
Yeah,
Fucking
man,
hell,
so
I forgot.
funny. All right, I egged Blade on for a couple more questions because I felt we didn't have enough. Number one, would you come out of retirement to face the All-American Australian Blade Shaw in a classic USA versus Canada showdown?
What? The All-American Australian?
He's got a new character now, dude. He's got Captain America kick pads, Superman shorts, Superman shirt with a B in it, and on the back there's a picture of Blade, like a cartoon version looking like Superman.
So sick.
And he wears an American flag, and he comes out to Born in the USA. Like, when he debuted the character, everyone went insane. And it was like, we've been waiting a year for this, because we had this idea fucking a year ago.
Wow.
Because he loves comic books and all that. And I thought, let's combine Superman and Captain America and make Blade Shaw the All-American Australian. And take the ideals of the greatest country in the world, you know? Like, we're kind of taking the piss out of Americans and how patriotic they are, but we're making it like a parody, but, you know, and it's making him a big baby face. So he's one of the most cheered and beloved baby faces on the roster now.
So good.
He's well in his way, but he's challenging you, bro.
All right.
USA versus Canada.
Yeah, I would love to come out of retirement, but I don't think you're worth my time, buddy. So
Oh.
You hear that, Blade? I don't think you're worth my time, buddy. So I'm gonna have to decline your offer. So yeah.
That's gonna be so loud. That microphone is hell. Like
yeah. Sorry. I'm done with wrestling. I've had my one last moment due to an ongoing shoulder issue, which I blame for any kind of physical activity I do now.
And you know why he's challenging you? Because Blade Shaw never beat Just Mike.
Yeah.
1-0. Tag team match. Just Mike and Taser versus Blade and O Factor. Just Mike gets the win
Victory.
Again. Another victory. So Blade just wants to get his win back and he can't.
But it would be fucking sick. That sounds amazing.
It
like,
would be good.
The ultimate American babyface versus the ultimate Canadian heel.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Damn. If only it was a
Bruce
different
Springsteen
time, bro.
versus Journey. No, Europe?
Europe.
Fuck, I should know that.
Okay, number two. How do you feel that the run of Team Canada went? Would you liked it to have developed more?
Yes, I would like it to develop more because it was kind of Scott kind of makes an appearance in an event, and the next event he's wrestling as my tag partner. So it would have been good to like kind of build his character first before he wrestled.
Yeah.
Give him like a backstory, develop us as a team, and then go from there. But
if we were doing like we used to do the one event a month, then we definitely we could have done that.
But I guess with time it's never was going to happen. But I was very happy with how it started, how the tag run went. But obviously the conclusion didn't go to plan because Dickhead didn't show up to the last events. But I guess that's the GBYWN, you know.
When you look back, you're a little bit disappointed in him for how he went in 2010 because
Yeah.
2010 Simply Scott was light years behind 2007, 2008 Simply Scott when he had those great matches with Bonner and
exactly.
Vaughan and Chris.
Like, he could have, cemented himself in XW history as being like one of the big guys in the end, but just didn't
But I
happen.
think he was a good one for. He was a good part of it for what he did. And there weren't many people after Return for Redemption that actually were going to be a part of XCW.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was always those original guys. So to add someone else new in when we're so close to the end was a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I guess it's good that we got what we got out of it.
Yeah. Another thing that I've just remembered. Clearly, Callum. There was an idea to make Team Canada an actual stable. Callum Shand, our friend, he'd seen a couple of XCW shows. He loved wrestling and he wanted to wrestle. He was good friends with Hydro. He wanted to wrestle for XCW. He made his debut at Extreme Evolution 3. Just wrestled me. He just came out as a generic wrestler. And he got beaten in about 2 minutes. But the idea was that you would adopt him into Team Canada, transform him into a Canadian athlete, like you did with Simply Scott, and then you guys will be a team of 3. Because we were real close with Callum at the time, but then I think I remember what happened now. That was a plan. We were going to go with it. I got angry on whatever, we had XCW, something online where we talked together. I don't know what it was, if we had forums or what back then, but I got angry at Tony because he was bailing on the next show when I wanted him versus Scott in a street fight, which was Retribution. Callum, for whatever reason, cracked the shits at me for being angry at him for bailing on the show and quit. And I'm like, why? How was that your place whatsoever to be involved in my argument with Tony? Tony's being uncommitted and is ruining the storyline that we're trying to do with Chris. So don't fucking jump down my throat. It has nothing to do with you. And anyway, he ended up we didn't talk for like 6 months or something. But I think at the time Callum was going through something because he was having fallings out with everyone at the time. So, and he just disappeared. But yeah, your thoughts on the possibility of Clearly Callum? I think it could have worked.
Well, the initial attraction for me was the name. As soon as the name clearly Callum came up, I was like, well, that's just perfect.
Just Mike, Simply Scott.
I'm pretty sure I laughed for like 5 minutes, and I was like, I'm sold. So, yeah.
It's kind of like the B Sharps. Funny at first, and it gets less funny.
Yeah, at first I was for it, but I think in the end, I don't think it would have worked because
we didn't need any new guys in 2010. I don't think.
Yeah, he wasn't really a wrestler.
No,
he wrestled one match against you. And
he speared me, he punched me, and then I super kicked him twice and beat him.
And having Scott, who was just terrible at that stage, and then having another someone
rookie.
Who was so green at the time.
Green. Yeah, I'm in the business. I call the young guys green.
You know,
we were all green, Mike. We were all green. Isn't that a weird thing?
Hey, I was red and white the whole time.
Oh, mate. Good work. Okay. Name 3 people you think should be future WZWA heavyweight champions who haven't been already. I'll have to let you know who has won it.
Okay.
Jack Wallace, me.
Jack Wallace?
He was the first champion. He booked it. When I took over, I booked myself to beat him for the title. Of course. Me, Brian Lowe Rider. You know, remember Brian Lowe?
I love Low Rider. Oh my god. Favourite wrestler.
Fuck off. Dark Ice, Dan Zeppelin, Alex Stone, Mykonos, Antilochus.
Okay.
So you got quite a few people there.
Alright, I'm going to have to go with my XCW homeboy, Blade Shaw.
Sick.
Sorry. The
All-American Australian. Yep.
Of course, my future client, Still Kemsley.
Yep.
And I would like to see a Big Red No, he's been champion. No,
No,
he
he
hasn't.
hasn't. No.
Big Red Ryan Tate deserves a chance at the title, so
Yeah, he's pretty good, man.
give him a run.
He just wrestled his girlfriend,
Oh man.
Lila, in a match at the last show. It was incredible, man. It was the main event. It was so good.
And I can relate to that.
Yeah, because you're the only two people that have done it.
Wow.
Wrestled against your girlfriend.
Then we should be a tag team.
Big Red and Big White and Red. The
No,
team could be
we
called.
just Big Red and White.
Okay. Is there anything that you regret having not done after leaving Backyard Wrestling? I know you said earlier you wish that me and you had more of an ultimate match,
Yeah.
but is there anything else? Win a singles title?
Nah, I was happy just winning a tag titles. I wish I had better singles matches with John and Vaughn.
Yeah, well, the last one, with Vaughn at Retribution was pretty good.
Oh yeah, forgot about that match.
The one, I forgot to mention it.
Discuss that.
No, yeah, and he threw the dummy with the Canadian flag off the balcony. It looked like everyone knew it wasn't you.
Actually, yeah, that was alright. And I reversed that fall away slam or something and freaking crushed his chest. Yeah, there are regrets. I'm just trying to think of them. I guess I regret not joining earlier, but it's probably for the best in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I regret not developing my character as more of a Canadian.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of just there, never really. Yeah.
Didn't really reference Canadian things.
Yeah, not till the end. So yeah.
We should have had you cut promos and purposely say a boot instead of a bout.
Exactly. Yeah. I think I tried to do that towards the end, but it was stupid.
All right, fair enough. Okay. Blade Short, last question from him. If you had to pick, gun to your head, who do you consider the best singles competitor and the best tag team in WA Backyard Wrestling history?
Diffuser is the best singles competitor.
Agreed.
Just because he just would get the best match out of anyone, apart from Tony Rowe. Which I know.
Can you believe
which
that?
I know freaking just grinds at his gears to this day.
Dude, his second last match was his worst match, and his last match was his best match.
Yeah.
Insane.
But yeah, Diffuser was just the ultimate singles competitor, and the best tag team would be Team Canada.
Excellent.
Not to boil my own potatoes, but
Good saying.
I haven't seen many tag teams in backyard wrestling, so the fact that we had,
Such a long run.
yeah,
Tag team champions for 3 years.
we had double team moves, we had characters, we had,
And they were voted tag team of the decade in XCW.
But I am a huge fan of the franchise when they were back
When they all go on.
running strong, so if I saw more of them, I might vote for them.
Excellent. I'm going to chip in some questions of my own now.
Okay.
Because that's the end of everyone else's questions.
Cool.
But I want to ask you several just random things. First one is, Dan Zeppelin wrestled in XCW for a couple of matches. Firstly, he wrestled MC Cruel at Retribution on Electrode for the ICWS Championship.
Yep.
And he, DJ, and Eli wrestled as the playgroup against Blade at Betrayal. The playgroup was like a silly masked wrestler group that they had in ICWS. Do you think that it was slightly a missed opportunity to maybe implement Dan Zeppelin into XCW and have him do at least one little storyline before the end of XCW?
Yeah, 100%. Like I feel like he was a perfect fit for XCW. Like him and Nick would have had freaking amazing matches.
Yeah.
So it would have been like an awesome feud. He could have like put on good matches with Diffuser even, like just, you know, the underdog small guy versus the big man, like him as a face would have been like awesome against Diffuser. And yeah, like
he fit in, I reckon.
I think of a million matches like he would have just
Because I remember after he did the match with Eli, Vaughn and John and Bonner came up to me and said, he's really good, like we should maybe think about him. But I think I was just like, nah, we've got too much going on to add another character this late in the game. So
terrible booking. What do you think?
4 shows from the end of XCW, I thought implementing another character might be a bit too much, but it might have been pretty cool. But you know, technically he was in XCW. You know, I mean, you can consider that because he was on the shows. He wrestled 3 shows. He wrestled at Christmas Chaos 5 as well, and the ICWS Showcase match as well.
Yeah, true that.
But you know, it's funny. Like those guys got the opportunity to wrestle on an XCW show just at the tail end, which was JD Flame, Del Cano, Clint Marshall, Wicked Nick James, DJ, and Dan, and also Eli.
They should feel honoured.
Yes, they should.
They are honoured.
They are honoured. I think they definitely enjoyed themselves. Okay, what is your favourite moment in Just Mike's career? I'm going to have a wee while you say this.
Am I still talking to you or to the microphone?
Just talk to the microphone.
Favourite moment is definitely my match against Diffuser. Yeah, my favourite moment is getting chokeslammed off the trampoline. Just because of the reaction that the crowd... Yeah, the reaction I got from the crowd was just insane. Just the pure shock of Diffuser appearing in the ring. And then the pop of when he chokeslammed me off the ring. Just kind of everyone rejoicing that this character, Just Mike, they've been hating all these past events, just got freaking destroyed by the Beast Diffuser. It was just like a fantastic moment. And yeah, I still watch that match and get goosebumps just from...
Me too, man. I just watched that whole show and I get goosebumps.
Yeah.
Another question I want to ask, who do you think was the best babyface in XCW's history? Ooh. Coming from the best heel.
Right. Okay, let me see. So we had... O-Factor was pretty good. Diffuser was good in his face. I think I preferred him as a heel. Never liked Taser as a face.
No, I was pretty shit as a face.
Johnny V, better as a heel. Yeah, I'd say O-Factor.
O-Factor, he was pretty good.
Yeah, he just pulled off all those exciting moves that everyone loved.
Yeah.
Kind of had that character. Did his little entrance punching the ground, which everyone loved for some stupid reason. Great theme song. Just, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's always become a forgotten important part of XCW's history.
Vaughn was great as a face as well, but I just think O-Factor had more character.
Yeah, I don't think Vaughn really worked on the character of Vaughn Too Horny as much as O-Factor worked on his character.
Yeah.
Alright, well, it's time now for word association. So I'm going to say the name of somebody. You can give a story or just your thoughts on them.
No, I thought word association is like...
You don't have to just say one word because that's boring. Just tell me your thoughts on them.
Okay.
How you feel, how you feel about them, etc. I'm going to start off with Chris the Horseman Rowe.
Great friend and my favourite opponent.
Favourite opponent, really? Excellent. Okay. Horny Too Horny.
It's a tough one. A frustrating yet entertaining character.
As a person, or as a...
Both.
Frustrating and entertaining. Why frustrating?
Just as a wrestler, it was just frustrating to... I guess, just because of that whole situation with me beating him.
Oh, yeah.
His competitiveness, but, it's always good for a laugh. So,
Okay. Blade Shaw.
like just total respect for him, and just so happy that he's still going.
Cool. Homicide.
Underrated, and a shame that he couldn't get further.
Hydro. These are people you barely had interactions with.
Pretty much saved the cruiserweight division.
Excellent. Nick Ariel. Sorry?
Yeah.
You going to say more?
Nick Ariel's next. So Nick Ariel was the cruiserweight division. Hydro helped him continue it, but was the second half of XW, and is a complete and utter dickhead.
Cool. Wolverine. Static.
Ugh,
You didn't really like him, did you?
I never hated him. Yeah, just I'm gonna do one word association is meh.
Interesting. Johnny B.
My favourite heel, and the trend-setting hipster of a G.
Excellent. Dan Zeppelin.
My favourite wrestler outside of FTW, and does he still wrestle?
Yeah, he's the World Hardcore Champion at the moment.
Yeah, I hope to see him wrestle again one day.
Cool. Taser. Aston Crude.
Great friend, but the most passionate wrestling fan / wrestler I've ever met.
Cool. Aiku Man.
I miss him, and I really like to see him back in some kind of wrestling capacity one day.
Excellent. Well, hopefully Norman will make a trip over here one day and I can get him on a show. Even if he just cuts a promo or something or gets involved. Special guest commissioner for the show or something. I don't know. Imagine that. Diffuser.
Hard to please, but when you please him, it is the ultimate achievement.
Sweet. Trying to think now, who else? Big Red Ryan Tate.
Fucking love Big Red Ryan Tate.
Do you think he's a great wrestler?
No, he's a great wrestler.
Great dude.
Jokes aside, I love his nickname, but great wrestler. Love his gimmick, and just a stand-up guy. Always good for a chat.
Cool, bro. Dark Ice.
Freaking always good to catch up with. Total respect for him, and credit to WZW.
Yep, and he's still chipping away at Diffuser. He wants a match with Diffuser.
Oh man, dream match.
I'm trying, but I don't because Bonner just doesn't want to wrestle. So
Bonner's a dad now. Come on.
He's just had his second kid, so I don't think the wife will be too impressed if he says I'm going off to wrestle tonight. Scorcher.
Ridiculous.
Entertaining,
but ridiculous.
Lance Lightning.
My favourite wrestler of all time.
For fuck's sake. Okay, and no, not finally. Simply Scott.
Simply annoying.
But you wish.
I'm really happy he joined XW because he helped my character a lot. He pretty much gave me my first championship, so I'm thankful for that. It's a shame we couldn't, end our storyline the way it should have, but I'm thankful that he was my tag partner for all those years, all those events.
Yeah.
And he helped me be the character I was.
Cool. And lastly, Just Mike.
It's just Mike.
Yeah, that's what I said, Just Mike.
No, just Mike.
What, Mike?
No, just Mike.
Oh, it's Just Mike.
No, just Mike.
Now it's both. You're angry either way.
For the record, it's just Mike.
So and how do you feel about yourself? Are you proud?
yeah, I'm very proud of what became of my character. Coming from, I guess I was very just lacking in confidence, but it just developed into the most confident character, you know, it could have been, and yeah, ultimately proud that I've, you know, became, I guess, something that I look up to, because I freaking loved heels as a wrestling fan. I looked up to so many heels, and then I became what I looked up to, I guess.
Cool. Well, Mike, that was the last one. So that comes to the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for doing the podcast.
It's possibly my last ever thing as a wrestler.
Yep, last ever endeavour that I'll ask you to do.
Unless my career as Stu Kemsley's manager comes to
I don't know if he's currently a tag team champion with Rex Regum at the moment. So.
That's not going to work.
Well, the reaction was great, but you know, maybe one day.
Rex Regum, come on, you do better still.
Well, it may be Team Canada 2.0.
Maybe.
Not going to happen. Just Mike's career is over, but his legacy lives on.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, thank you.
Handshake.
That's the handshake. We just did the handshake. Thank you for doing the podcast. Once again, thank you for your contributions, and I hope you have fun.
I had a lot of fun.
Any lasting words?
It's good to reminisce on such a great time in our childhood / adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess to close out, that's from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
And that was my interview with Just Mike, former undefeated superstar, former XCW Tag Team Champion, and Australian Backyard Wrestling Hall of Famer, the heel of the decade in XCW, the tag team of the decade, Team Canada. Thank you, Just Mike, and thank you, everyone, for listening to the GBYWN Australian podcast. I'm Aston Crude, and hopefully next time I will be interviewing none other than Akuman, or maybe Homicide, or maybe I'll finally get my interview done with Mykonos, which I've been talking about for about a year. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.